Hi spinning friends, welcome back to another video. This is specifically for my channel members, so thank you so much for being channel members. This video is especially for you guys. I wanted to film me finishing the big wheel of this spinning wheel, the drive wheel. And there's going to be a lot of sanding noise in this video. I'm not speeding it up. It's going to be approximately 28 minutes long. There will be a part 2, so be on the lookout for that. During part 2, we will actually be coating the wheel with the tung oil and citrus solvent and doing the steps needed to do that. So here you can see we are sanding. We're using 600 grit sandpaper to make the wheel as smooth as possible. We're talking baby's butt smooth here because we don't want any roughness left at this point. At this particular point in the process, I have already sanded all the pieces of the wheel with 320 grit sandpaper and then 4-0 stainless steel wool, and then it got its first coat of tung oil. Then we went back in with a 400 grit sandpaper and sanded the entire wheel again with that 400 grit sandpaper, and then again with the 4-0 stainless steel wool. And this is the final sanding that has to be done. And this is with 600 grit sandpaper and again the stainless steel wool. It took me probably 2 hours to fully sand and steel wool this drive wheel. It is massive. It's almost 30 inches, and it's a lot of work. Those little nubs in each spoke took forever to sand, and I'm sure I didn't do a good enough job, but it'll have to suffice because by the end of the 2 hours that it took me to do this, my hands were cramping so bad. The whole purpose of this video is really just to give you guys who are my channel members a behind the scenes backstage pass, sort of, to see the kind of insanity that goes into finishing one of these wheels. Granted, I'm only showing you guys the drive wheel, and there are so many pieces to this wheel. But just I wanted to really show you guys the intense labor of love that finishing this wheel is, and it really truly is a labor of love to finish this. So much, I knew it was going to be a ton of work, so much so that I nearly canceled this wheel a couple of times. Because I knew how much work it was going to be. And I was really daunted by the whole process. And having put it together quickly and spun on it quickly without oiling anything or anything like that, I'm really glad that I didn't cancel it. But it is a crazy crap ton of work. And it is definitely not for the faint of heart. I am very fortunate that I have an unfinished basement that I can kind of park all my spinning wheel pieces in and know that nobody's going to go down there and nobody's going to mess with any of it. And thankfully we don't have any animals, so like all my pieces of wood are safe and secure, and nothing's going to happen to them while they are being sanded and finished and have to sit and dry for a while. Yes, please. Yeah. All right, so here's the part where we get the 40 stainless steel wool, and we basically have to take away any sort of white gunk that is on the surface of the wheel. So the way this process works is you sand the excess oil off of the surface of the wheel and get back down to the actual grain of the wood. But in doing the sanding, it leaves sort of like a residue, which you can see on the stainless steel wool pad. You have to remove that with the stainless steel. And it basically brings a luster back to the wheel. It's used for all sorts of finishing. It's a fair amount of elbow grease. But it basically just, you can see the pieces that I haven't done are kind of like a grayish sort of look to them. And the two sections that I have been working on sort of get this dull shine back to it. And that's exactly what we're looking for. So we have to go through and do this for every square inch of this drive wheel and every piece of the wheel period before we go through and do the final tung oil citrus solvent coat. So this next little section is just me working on getting the rim of the drive wheel back to that dull luster. If you guys have hung in with me this far into this video, I really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for being channel members. Thank you so much for your support. It really does mean the world to me. This is just for you guys. It will never be up on the channel proper. It is only for members. The next video incoming again will be about coating the oil, the wheel with oil and how that process goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. And until next time, guys, happy spinning.